Milo and the Broken-Winged Aeroplane, Sky's Second Chance. It was a windy afternoon, the kind where the clouds looked like fluffy candy floss in the sky. The wind rustled through the leaves of the trees, swish, swish. In a lovely house with blue shutters, right up in the attic, lived a curious little boy named Milo. Milo's room didn't look like a normal bedroom. It looked like a secret laboratory or a space station. There were wires on the floor, colorful crayons on the desk, and jars full of buttons on the shelves. Milo had curly hair, freckles on his nose, and he always carried a tape measure in his pocket. Milo had a very special helper, his best friend, Baxter. Baxter was a golden dog with big, floppy ears. His tail wagged so fast that sometimes they didn't even need a fan to keep cool. Woof! Woof! Baxter was always by Milo's side. On that day, Milo was playing with his favorite toy. It was a shiny red aeroplane with a spinning propeller. Its name was Sky. Milo lifted the aeroplane high into the air. Zoom! Zoom! Sky glided around the room. Milo jumped over his bed, pretending to be a pilot. Tower, requesting permission to land. A storm is coming, he shouted. Baxter joined the game, too. He barked happily and chased after Milo. But Baxter was so excited that his big, fluffy tail knocked into a chair leg. Baxter stumbled and bumped into Milo. Milo lost his balance, and the red aeroplane slipped from his hand. The aeroplane tumbled through the air. And crack! It hit the wooden floor with a loud noise. Suddenly, the room was very quiet. Milo fell to his knees. Baxter put his ears down and made a sad sound, whimper, as if to say, "I'm sorry." Milo picked up Sky. The body of the plane was okay, but the right wing had snapped in half. The propeller had popped off and was bent. It couldn't fly anymore. It was just a piece of broken red plastic. Milo felt a lump in his throat. A tear fell from his eye onto the broken wing. Just then, footsteps came up the stairs. His dad, Arthur, walked in holding a tray of warm biscuits. "Break time, team. Fresh bisque." Arthur stopped. He saw Milo sitting on the floor and Baxter looking sad. He put the tray down. "Hey, what happened here?" Milo held out the broken toy. "Baxter bumped into me by mistake." "Sky is broken, Dad." The wing snapped off. Arthur took the aeroplane and looked at it closely. Yes. That is a nasty break, Milo. It is very hard to fix plastic wings. Don't be sad. We were going to the shops tomorrow. We can buy a bigger one, maybe a remote-controlled helicopter. We can just put this old one in the rubbish bin. Milo looked at the plane in his dad's hands. His dad was right, buying a new one was easy. But Sky was Milo's first aeroplane. He had raced it in the garden, and he slept next to it every night. Milo stood up. He wiped his tears away. "No," he said. His voice was shaky but brave. "I don't want to throw it away." Arthur was surprised. "But Milo, it has no wing. How can an aeroplane fly without a wing?" Milo walked towards his desk, his repair station. "If it has no wing, we will make a new one. Maybe even better than before." Arthur smiled. He liked his son's spirit. "All right then, Captain Milo. The runway is yours." I'll be downstairs if you need help. The door closed. Milo, Baxter, and the broken aeroplane were alone. Milo patted Baxter's head. Don't worry, boy. It wasn't your fault. Come on, help me. Baxter cheered up immediately, and his tail started working again. Thump, thump, thump. Milo sat at his desk. He took a deep breath. First, we need a plan, he whispered. He tried to fit the plastic pieces together, but they wouldn't stick. Glue wouldn't be strong enough for the wind. We need something stronger, Baxter. Stronger than plastic, but light enough to fly. Milo tipped out his ideas box onto the desk. Out tumbled cardboard pieces, ice lolly sticks, old straws, and bits of fabric. Attempt 1. The cardboard wing. Milo cut a piece of stiff cardboard. He shaped it like a wing and taped it on. Looks great, he said. But when he picked up the plane and blew on it gently, the cardboard wing flopped down. Oh no, said Milo. Too soft. It will bend in the wind. Milo scratched his chin, thinking hard. He looked at an empty juice carton and then at a pile of wooden ice lolly sticks. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. Ping! Baxter! I've got it! Ice lolly sticks were hard, strong, and very light. Milo got to work straight away. He took 2 ice lolly sticks. He put them side by side. He used strong tape to join them together. Now he had a wing that was longer and stronger than the old one. But the wing was the color of wood, and the plane was red. That won't do, said Milo. We need some style. He took out his paints. He painted the wooden sticks a bright, shiny blue. Then, he sprinkled some silver glitter on top. Now the wing sparkled like the sky. It was time to put it together. Milo carefully used some craft glue, just like his dad had shown him. He stuck the new blue wing onto the body of the aeroplane. Now, they had to wait for it to dry. Waiting was the hardest part. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 5 minutes. Milo pointed to the clock for Baxter. We must be patient. Finally, the glue was dry. Milo picked up the aeroplane. He checked it. He shook it. It didn't wobble at all. It was solid as a rock. There was just one problem left. The propeller was still bent. Milo tried to fix it with pliers, but the plastic was cracked. Then, he saw an old, broken handheld fan on the desk. It had a tiny, see-through propeller. That's it, cried Milo. He took the propeller from the fan and popped it onto Sky's nose. The result was amazing. Sky was not just a red aeroplane anymore. It was an aeroplane with 1 red wing and 1 sparkly blue wing. And on its nose, instead of a normal propeller, it had a super propeller that looked invisible when it spun. The door opened, and his dad, Arthur, peeked in. How is the work going? Milo proudly lifted the aeroplane high. Let me introduce you, Dad, this is Super Sky. Arthur couldn't believe his eyes. Wow! That looks much cooler than the ones in the shop, Milo. That blue wing is a brilliant idea. Time for a test flight, shouted Milo. They went down to the garden. The sun was starting to set. Milo pulled his arm back and threw Sky into the air. The aeroplane glided through the air. The new wooden wing was a little heavier, but that made the plane fly even straighter. It didn't wobble in the wind, it sliced right through it. The clear propeller spun in the breeze, wah, wah. The aeroplane flew in a beautiful curve from one end of the garden to the other and landed softly on the grass. Baxter ran to the plane and barked happily. It was as if he was saying, "Hooray!" Milo hugged his dad. "You were right, Dad," said Arthur. "If we bought a new one, you would just have a toy. But now, you have an aeroplane with a story." That night, Milo placed Sky right next to his bed. He looked at the sparkly blue stick where the broken wing used to be. The crack, the accident, the sadness, it was all gone. In its place was something he made with his own hands and his own imagination. Milo learned something very important that day: mistakes happen. Things break. But before you throw something away, if you look at it with a little love and a little imagination, it can become something even stronger and more beautiful than before. And Milo knew exactly what he wanted to be when he grew up. He was going to be an inventor of hope, fixing broken hearts, broken toys, and broken wings.